How powerful is the power of science? It's really hard to imagine. Twine and join the two keys with thin wire. Align the positive and negative electrodes of the dry cell. A homemade electric knife will do it. This is the law of resistance. Write on paper with a swab dipped in the juice of an orange. The written words must be heated to appear. This is the secret of the wordless book. Surround a coin with 6 batteries. Just wave your hand, and the coin started to spin. Cross the 2 books together like a shuffle. The friction is enough to lift a vat of pure water. Put the frozen strawberries into ice water. The water will instantly congeal around the strawberries. That's the secret to turning water into ice. Stick tape on a balloon filled with water. The center cuts off the current as if it were frozen. This is known as the laminar flow phenomenon. You can't stick a potato through a straw. Just hold the top of the straw with your hand. The potatoes have been pierced. Do you know why? Put 3 caps on the magnet. Spin a top on the glass. Pull off the base plate. The top was spinning in the air. This is the magnetic levitation. Fill the straw with water and place it between the 2 cups. The water will slowly drain into another empty cup. This is the phenomenon of siphoning. Add 1 teaspoon soda and 1 teaspoon white vinegar to the glass. Pour the resulting gas into another empty cup. This invisible gas actually doused 2 rows of burning candles. That's how fire extinguishers work. Attract a magnet to the negative pole of the battery. Place copper coil on the positive pole. This is how the wheels of an electric car spin. Hold a piece of paper and a screw between 2 magnets. Draw up the screw with the negative pole of a battery. Positive connection lead. When the other end of the wire contacts the magnet to form a loop, the propeller is spinning very fast. This is how the motor turns 100 times. Let's take the kids and do it. This is not magic. This is a real science experiment. Shake the Coke crazily. Put it in the freezer for 2 hours while he's not looking. Give it a little touch. The Coke will suddenly freeze. No ice machine. And you can make a nice Coke smoothie. Add water to the cup. The character turns around. This is the principle of light refraction. Drop the alcohol on the string of the bottle. Fire the rope. Wait for it to go out, and throw it into cold water. You can cut glass bottles with your bare hands. Put a pencil lead on the battery. Put a match on it. The match had spontaneously ignited. Fill the bottle with water. Put a ping pong ball in the bottle. Inverted ping pong balls never fall. This is the force of atmospheric pressure. You don't have to use your hands. Use the eccentricity. You can transfer the ping pong ball to another cup. Add white sugar to the water. Stir well. Pigments dissolve quickly in clean water. It's insoluble in sugar water. This is the saturation of the solution. Slip the paper into the cup, upside down in the water. Under the combined action of atmospheric pressure and buoyancy, the paper remains dry 100 times. Let's take the kids and do the experiment. A couple of incredible little scientific experiments. It's really hard to imagine. Put a piece of gold on the scale. Move the magnet to the bottom of the scale. You will find that the gold has actually become heavy. Rub the Coke back and forth with your chopsticks. The Coke opened on its own. Do you know why? Put 2 plastic pens together and roll them up with paper. Clench and hit the table hard. Open the paper. The 2 pens magically stuck together. The other end can hold the weight of a cup. Load round pieces of paper onto the sander. Open switch. Something incredible has happened. A thin piece of paper can easily cut through a tough coconut. Unscrew the lid of the plastic bottle. Retighten the bottle cap between the clothes. The same goes for the back. Take another piece of rope to fasten the bottom of the garment. The lifebuoy for the emergency will be ready. Can you believe that? Use only 1 piece of toilet paper. The dirty water will be purified into clean water. This is the capillary phenomenon. You don't have to use your hands. Can also transfer the ping pong ball to another cup. That's the eccentricity. A ruler is easily knocked down by heavy loads. Simply place a thin piece of A4 paper on the ruler. The ruler can no longer be knocked down by the weight. This is the power of atmospheric pressure 100 times. Let's try it out with the kids during the holidays. Pour Coke into the bowl. Squeeze in a little toothpaste. Add the baking soda. Stir and mix. Put into microwave oven for heating. Take it out in a minute. A fun and moving magnetic fluid will be ready. Isn't that amazing? Like a bottle filled with water dripping in hand sanitizer. Rub the bottle back and forth with the lemon. Add some white sugar. Cover the bottle with your hand and turn it upside down. The water was sealed in the bottle. Make a circle of steel wool. Put your phone in the middle. Make a phone call. The steel wool sparkled in an instant. This is the radiation of cell phone calls. Add hydrogen peroxide to the cup. Citric acid. Iodophores. Shake and pour out the mixture. Click on the white paper with your hand. Buckle the cup on top. Your fingerprints will show up slowly. Wrap a few loops of cotton wool around the body of the glass bottle. Wet the cotton thread with alcohol. Light up the cotton thread. After waiting for extinction, Quickly put into cold water. Let stand for a few seconds. You'll be able to cut glass bottles easily. Squeeze in a dish with hand sanitizer. Bake it with a lighter. Put a match. The match had spontaneously ignited. Isn't that amazing? In accordance with the dimensions shown on this drawing, cut out 4 identical pieces of plastic. Use tape to join them together. Put it on your phone and play 3D video. You built a naked eye 3D holographic projector. Let's make one for the kids. Hold a few pieces of paper between 2 magnets. Put a screw and a battery. When connecting the positive pole and the magnet to form a loop, the paper was spinning at a great speed. This is how an electric fan works. All children who love to think are wise, and the children who love science grow up to be even worse. Take a closer look. Drop the liquid on the lock. You can break it with your bare hands. Put it on the racket. The rackets will simply burst. Drop it on the can. The can becomes as crunchy as a cookie. If it is accidentally dropped on a computer or mobile phone, the voice of heartache hurts to hear across the screen. So what exactly is this horrible liquid, and how it can corrode other metals? The liquid turned out to be a metal called gallium. Since its melting point is only 29.76 degrees Celsius, it usually appears as a solid at room temperature, but can be turned into a liquid with just a little heat. If you put it in the palm of your hand, he will slowly melt into a liquid like a magic trick. If a ladle made of gallium is stirred in hot water, you can also see the magic phenomenon of the spoon melting while stirring. In winter it will exist in a solid state. In the summer it usually exists in a liquid state. Then why doesn't gallium corrode the palm? But it can corrode other metals, because he made an alloy with the metal, destroyed the original structure of the metal. A metal bond between metal atoms that is inherently stable. Interloose gallium alloy bonds with the metal to make the hard metal and become as brittle as a biscuit. It breaks at the touch. So here comes the problem. What would you most like to do with gallium? A couple of incredible little scientific experiments. It's really hard to imagine. Pour the sand into a hot pan. Gently shake well. Put a small ball with a magnetic force on it. Switch on the power. You'll be surprised to find that the ball is gaining momentum. Has become a good painter. Place 3 bottle caps on a magnet. Spin the euro over the glass to remove the bottom plate. The top is up in the air. This is the magnetic levitation. Take the root of a rose. Cut evenly into quarters with a knife. Insert each of the 4 different colors of paint. Wait for a night. You'll get a multicolored rose. A pin that would have been attracted by a magnet. It loses its magnetism and falls off after being heated by fire. That's why. Pour 3 parts sand into the bowl. 2 parts starch. 1 soapy water. Mix well and then add the desired pigment. A safe, non-toxic, fun, decompressed space sand is ready. Don't throw away the plastic takeout box. Take the lid off. Use a knife to cut the lid into 4 isosceles trapezoids. Use tape to join them together. Put it on your phone and play 3D video. You built a simple naked eye 3D projector. Let's make one for the kids. Add a few pieces of paper between 2 magnets. Put on a screw, a battery, connecting lead. The paper was spinning at a great speed. This is how an electric fan works. 100 times. Let's try it out with the kids during the holidays. How powerful is the power of science? It's really hard to imagine. The plug at home is stuck like this. Don't cut it off with scissors. What a shame. Just stretch it out like this, and then go around from the bottom up close to the plug to come out. Put the ping pong ball on the mouth of the bottle filled with water. Even if you turn the bottle upside down and the water doesn't leak, drop the rusty wrench into the beer and soak it for a while. The wrench is as good as new. You know why. Fill a bowl with water. Pour some hand sanitizer. Use the heat to bake. He took a match close to it and caught fire. It's like magic. It's not fun to wear gloves. The negative electrode of the battery can be used instead. You can still write. Stick tape on the balloon. The rope passed through the pipe, tied to the tree at each end. Release balloons together to witness the power of the air thrusters. Use pliers to grind the end of a match into a powder. Pour into the lock. Ignition of the match powder in the lock. The lock that had left the key behind was opened. Put a few pieces of paper on the filter. Place it on a candle and bake. The paper is safe without lambs. Place a sheet of wet toilet paper at the bottom of the glass. Put another glass on top. The 2 cups will stick together. Put the cans in the same position as in the video. Put a magnet on it. Stack 5 coins on top of one another. The coin actually stands up and kept spinning. Fold 5 cotton swabs in half and put them in a circle. Drop water in the middle. Something magical happened. The cotton buds converge into a 5-pointed star. Mix the sand and cornstarch together 3-to-1. Add the soapy water and stir until smooth. A few more drops of paint. You'll get the fun. Unzipped space sand. Thread the center of a ring through a necklace. Just loosen your thumb. The ring will be securely locked by the necklace. Draw a circle around the ant. The ant will never come out again. You can make a ring like this out of a piece of paper. Then cut along the midline. Not only did he not break it, instead, it forms a larger circle. This is the endless circle of Mobius. Pour a large bottle of mineral water into the glass. When the water level reaches the bottle mouth, the water won't pour out. Fill the balloon with free baking soda. Over the mouth of a bottle filled with white vinegar. Lift the balloon. The balloon was blown up by the bottle 100 times. Let's try it out with the kids. This is not magic. This is a science experiment. Seal a piece of gauze over the mouth of an empty bottle, upside down on the cup. Add charcoal, sand, pebbles, and pour in the dirty water. We'll be able to filter out drinkable water. The shower will clog if used for a long time. Add baking soda to the bag. Pour the right amount of white vinegar over the blocked sprinkles. In an hour, the flour is sprinkled to change unobstructed. Cut the wrapping paper of the chewing gum to look like in the video. Both ends should be aligned with the positive and negative electrodes of the battery. You can live in the wild. Rub the Sprite back and forth with a ballpoint pen. Sprite opened it by herself. That's why the glass chafed at the mouth of the beer. Give it a little tap, and the beer just popped out. This is the principle of atomic bomb explosion. Take 2 keys with copper wire wrapped around them. Align the positive and negative electrodes of the battery. You made an electric knife. This is the law of resistance. Stick tape on a balloon filled with water. Central cut. The current was as if it were frozen. This is known as the laminar flow phenomenon. A ruler is easily knocked down by heavy loads. Simply cover the ruler with a thin sheet of paper. The ruler can no longer be knocked down by the weight. This is the power of atmospheric pressure. 100 times. Let's take the kids and do the experiment.